Boxing King Media in association with Boxer Mr. Slim Albaher, all the way from New York. Thank you for jumping on, speaking to us today. Mate, you are part of probably one of the greatest of all time influencer boxing cards. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, I would say that too because it's a stacked card, bro. It's a pretty stacked card. And we also got KSI versus Dylan Dennis, which is gonna be huge because Dylan Dennis brings in a large crowd. You know, the last event we did in August in London, it was sold out, O2 Arena, 20,000 people. It was insane. And that was KSI headlining with fighting nobodies, like no names. Now this time he's fighting Dylan Dennis, who brings in the whole MMA community. So it's gonna be big. It's gonna draw a lot of attention, and I'm privileged to be there fighting around the KSI again. Around the KSI again, I think I'm gonna be fighting as co-main event. I'm not sure yet, but if I am, I'm ready for it, man. I'm excited.
And that's the other interesting part, because the undercard last time round wasn't as strong as it is this time. This time it's crazy. Like fights getting announced every minute.
Yeah, there's some good fights on the card. There's some really good fights, and I'm excited, man. But you know what it is? Like I'm just focused on my fight because usually on fight night, like I really don't get to watch the fights like that. You know, I'm just focusing backstage, warming up, getting ready. I don't like to pay too much attention to the fights. I do, but like the fight right before me, I don't. I pay no attention to it. I'm just in work mode. You know, like I like to stay focused on getting ready.
Definitely, man. We were talking about fights getting announced. They've just announced Anthony Taylor fighting Idris Virgo, which is
Oh,
a good fight. Have you seen Idris Virgo fight before?
I've never seen him fight. Is he boxes?
Yeah, he's a professional. He's 9-0, I think he is, with a lot of knockouts, and
Wow.
he can really fight. So that's a really good fight, man. But he was on Love Island. That's where he got his fame from.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, but the dude can really fight. But let's talk about your fight, man. I just watched the face-off you did with Tom Zanetti the other day. I've got to ask you, before the fight was announced and made, what different opponents were you offered? Was Tom the only opponent you was offered, or you offered a few?
You know what it is? After a lot of people want me to see have a fight with AnEsonGib. We're
That's
supposed to
the
fight.
headline show, though, isn't it? You and Gib is like
Yeah,
an event on its own.
yeah, you're right. It's definitely an event on its own. But it's a fight between us. It's been long overdue. Like since 2020, we're supposed to fight. But you know what it is? He went down his own path. I went down my own path. We found success in our own ways, and people still want to fight. Like my name is always like being compared to him. Like every time I have a performance, oh, nah, Nissan Gibb could beat you, or same with him. Slim could beat you. So like, I just want to get to the bottom of it. I just want to sort it out, man. You know what I mean? But like, maybe after this fight, like I hope we can get that fight done because that'll be a massive fight, a headline show, and I feel like we could do it in the UK or in the Middle East. Like it'll be huge.
The
Um,
UAE would be an amazing place. You got the whole Yemen Saudi connection. It's
yeah,
huge. Slim versus
yeah,
Gibb, that's a pay-per-view headline.
yeah.
You
We
don't
can
even
do
need an
Dubai.
undercard.
We could do Qatar, we could do Saudi Arabia, we can even do the UK, bro. We could do the UK too. Like we could do it anywhere, man. And I think regardless of the outcome, it'll be huge. But he was complaining about the money because I think he was offered an amount, but they offered him a good amount of money, man. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Hopefully after this fight we could get that fight going because that'll be a huge fight and a lot of people really want to see that fight.
Was Gibb offered to fight you on this particular show on the 14th?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was, he was. And he was going back and forth with Mams Taylor on Twitter, and a lot of people were like, he was saying that it was his lowest offer in 3 years, which they offered him $250,000 to fight Temper, the guy I beat, and they said more if he fights me. You know what I'm saying? He'll get more if he fights me. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good for like an undercard fight. You know what I mean? That's a good amount of money. So I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I hope they get whatever he wants going, so we get something going this year, bro. I just want to get it done.
you just want to stay busy, man. And talking of money, you mentioned the money side of things. I watched an interview with Adam Saleh the other day, and he suggested the guys at Misfits are not paying properly. Obviously, you've got experience with them, so could you kind of clarify that?
Now, Misfits, well, Adam Saleh, I think a lot of people misunderstood him. He didn't, he's not like, because people were thinking he's coming at Misfits. He's not really coming at them. He just said that I think Fred asked him, why aren't you fighting on Misfits? And he's like, basically they hit him up with an offer that wasn't enough for him. You know what I mean? Like, because I think he got better offers from other promotions. So, and then people are gonna do what's best for them, you know. But for me, like Misfits is doing well for me. They've been looking out for me, and they're giving me great opportunities. So like, I think for fighter pay, they do pretty well. You know, like for me, I have nothing to complain about. You know.
Definitely. And talking of that opportunity, Tom Zanetti. So tell me, prior to him, his name getting mentioned to you, when did you first hear about Tom Zanetti? Obviously, that press conference where you both set the stage alike.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard of him. But you know, I was also offered to fight him a few times, even before I fought Face Temper. Like they offered me to fight him a few times, but I really didn't know too much about him. But then after I fought Temper and I saw him, he was fighting on the second card. He made a lot of noise in the second card. I saw that, you know, like he brought a lot of attention to the to his fight, and a lot of people were excited to see him fight, and even I was excited to see him fight because like the way he held the press conference, it was kind of crazy and hectic, but I saw the way he was doing that, and he's good for marketing. You know, like he knows how to sell a fight. And I see some clips of him throwing punches, and he could punch too. So I think it'll be an interesting matchup. You know, like just to stay busy, stay active, and I definitely want to keep fighting this year. Have multiple fights. I don't want to just fight once and disappear. You know, if I didn't fight Tom Zanetti, I would not be fighting on this massive card. So I want to fight on this massive card. I want a good and I want to I just want to get the job done and move on to bigger things.
I know you said yesterday people are criticizing you for fighting Tom Zanetti. I can 100% assure you that the guy can really fight. And credit to you for taking on somebody that's unknown and bearing in mind how many people have pulled out from fighting him. So that says a lot about you and a lot about him because he's going up against a guy that's 5-0, knocking people out. And you're going up against a guy that you know is a puncher, but nobody's fought him. So nobody knows what to expect. So massive credit to both of you.
Oh, thank you, man. You know, but with him, he has nothing. He has really not much to lose on his side because he could perform like he could do decent against me, and he'll get a lot of respect. You know what I mean? Oh, cause like, oh, you did this, like Ryan Taylor, like he didn't do nothing against me, bro. Like I beat him up so bad, bro. All he did was survive. You know what I mean? He just survived, and he got a lot of respect for that. You know what I mean? Like he didn't do nothing. He landed probably one or two punches in a 12-minute fight. You know, and he got a lot of respect. So if Tom Zanetti does anything, if he lands one punch, he's gonna get a lot of respect. You know what I mean? So he has nothing to lose. I have more to lose. You know what I mean? A lot of people right now have such high expectations for me. So like before I used to never had like I used to fight as an underdog. Like I had no expectations. So like I kind of liked it because like you know people don't expect much. But now I have such high expectations. Like I have to perform. Like or oh wow Slim ain't all that or something like that. You know people start talking. You know how the boxing community
Yeah,
is
the
like. You know
haters
so
are ready, man. The haters are ready to
yeah.
start talking about you. And like I said, I hope whoever watches this understands that Tom Zanetti is a serious challenge and he's probably better than some of the guys you've already fought, believe it or not. Because, like I said, I've seen him training and he's training with a professional, ex-professional fighter, Atif Shafiq. And so he's taking it seriously. So
Mhm.
credit to both of you. I've got to ask you, have you listened to Tom's music? What do you make of it?
Honestly, I never heard of his music, but you know what it is? When I was in the UK, I was asking people like, "Do you know who Tom Zanetti is?" And a lot of people know who he is. He's actually well known in the UK. In America, he's not really well known. Like people don't really know him out here, but in the UK, he's really massively known. A lot of people know who he is. So, um, that's another reason why I took the challenge too against him because he brings in a crowd. Like I bring in a lot of people when I fight, and I want to fight someone who brings in an audience as well because I don't want to fight someone who doesn't bring too much to the table, you know, like you got to bring something to the table too. So he's bringing something to the table. I'm bringing something to the table. We're gonna scrap it out and see what's up. So
And you talk about the crowd, even though you're fighting in the UK, I saw firsthand, when you was walking about on the streets of Sheffield in the ghetto, everyone's like swarming all over you. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a serious fan base.
yeah, and in UK is, and I'll say in UK is probably one of my biggest fan bases too. You know, like I always been, it's always been my biggest fan base because back then I used to do tours with my boy Adam Saleh. We used to do shows in London, Birmingham, Manchester, Bradford. We used to do these live shows, and we used to have like hundreds and thousands of people that will pull up and support us. So it's always been, but now since the boxing, ever since I've been doing these boxing events, the love has grown to a different level. So I'm excited to perform again in London, England. It's gonna be live.
It sure is, man. And both of you were quite respectful yesterday to each other. I get the feeling that some point that's going to explode because there's no way you two are quite loud characters are going to stand at a press conference and keep quiet and respectful. I think there's going to be an explosion. What do you think?
Um, yeah. Me personally, you know, like this is my sixth fight, so I did six press. I did six press conferences, six face to faces. I did many times, and for me, it's kind of like the same thing every time. Like, oh, I'm gonna knock you out. Oh, you're skinny as hell. Yo, it's the same thing. So like, at this point, I really don't got much to say. I don't got much to prove, bro. Like, I don't gotta prove anything. My resume speaks for itself. You know what I mean? Every single person I fought is either got knocked out or I broke their face. Literally, every single person. I broke two noses. and I knocked out every single person out cold. You know what I mean? So like at this point, what could I say? You know what I mean? Like my resume speaks up for itself. I don't gotta say much. You know what I mean? So, but I keep respectful. I really don't mind. I'm gonna talk my shit. I'm gonna keep it entertaining. I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but I'm gonna talk my shit. You know, and to be myself the way I always am. And if he takes that disrespect, then so be it.
Definitely. And just as a final message, have you got for, because I know AnEsonGib is the fight that you want without looking too far ahead. Have you got a message for AnEsonGib if he does watch this at some point?
AnEsonGib, let's get it popping, bro. Let's get it popping. It's been so long. You know, like I respect you as a fighter. I respect your journey. And I know you respect my journey as well, but you know, let's give the fans what they want, man. I'm tired of our names being, connected, and people. Some of your fans think that you could beat me, so my fans think I could beat you. So let's make it happen. Let's find out once and for all who's the better man. Let's get it popping. Let's get this money, baby. Let's go.
That's it, man. And last question, ring walk, because you've kind of sprung surprises on us last two times with your ring walk music. How about you walk out to a Tom Zanetti tune? How different would that?
Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea, yo. But you know what is? I actually have something in mind. I'm gonna try to like take it. I'm trying to take things up a notch this time. You know, not just with ring music, but we'll see what's up. I'm gonna try to do something like cool for this upcoming event, inshallah. So we'll see what's up.
Slim, you're a top guy, man. I appreciate your time. I'm really genuinely excited for this show on the 14th because normally January is a dead time for boxing, but we've got a
Yeah,
massive show.
yeah, it's gonna be a great show. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to see you there, man. Let's get it popping. We do some fun interviews there too. So let's go. Let's get it. London, England, January 14th. Let's go.
Can't wait. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.